Today, we're diving into a story that perfectly captures one of the most blatant, persistent, and frankly exhausting double standards in the British press and in the global conversation around the two women who married into the monarchy, Meghan Markle and Kate Middleton. Recently, Feminegra published a pointed comparison, highlighting how Kate cooked with her hair down and was praised, while Meghan did the exact same thing and was criticised. And honestly, this isn't new, but every time it resurfaces, the contrast becomes more glaring. So let's walk through this, not just the photos, not just the article, but the deeper patterns, the media psychology, and why these tiny details like wearing your hair down in a kitchen somehow become fuel for vastly different narratives. The Feminegra post shows two images side by side. On the left, Meghan is volunteering in a community kitchen. She's wearing an apron, she's prepping food alongside families and children, and yes, she has her hair down. She's also clearly following the hygiene requirements of the facility: gloved hands, apron, and a hat covering the top of her head. On the right, Kate is photographed slicing bread in another community kitchen, also on royal duty, also with her hair down and no hat. She's smiling, involved, and doing something positive. The reactions to her photos, almost universally glowing. The reactions to Meghan's? Well, that's where the issue begins. The Feminegra article doesn't need 10 paragraphs to make its point. It simply puts the two images together and says, Kate cooked with her hair down and was praised. Meghan did the same and was criticised. And that's exactly what happened. When Kate was photographed cooking with her hair down, the British tabloids used words like elegant, natural, radiant, relatable, hands-on and warm. But when Meghan did the same, unhygienic, disrespectful, unprofessional, breaking protocol, dangerous in a kitchen. Some outlets even went as far as claiming she was setting a bad example. Let's repeat that. The same action, two completely different narratives. This isn't about hair. It has never been about hair. It's about the media ecosystem that has built a profitable formula around one thing, lifting one woman up while tearing another down. But why? There are a few key factors that always come into play. 1. Meghan is treated as an outsider. Always, no matter how hard she tried, Meghan was framed as the newcomer who didn't follow tradition, didn't fit in, and didn't behave as a proper royal woman should. Even though the rules she supposedly broke, Kate had done the same often years earlier. 1. The British tabloids need a villain. Drama sells. Conflict sells. And they discovered quickly that Meghan was the perfect target for generating engagement, clicks, and outrage. 1. Racialized narratives. We can't ignore it. Meghan is the first biracial woman to marry into the royal family. And many of the criticisms she received, even when disguised as just observations, were rooted in racial undertones that audiences recognized instantly. 1. The perfect princess archetype. The media built a brand around Kate being the calm, polished, uncontroversial royal wife. To maintain that narrative, Meghan had to serve as her opposite. You can't sell a fairy tale without a villain. This hair comparison is one of dozens. Let's revisit a few others to understand the scale of the issue. Avocado story. Kate eats avocado. She relies on this healthy fruit for her pregnancy wellness. Meghan eats avocado. Demanding avocados contributes to drought, environmental damage, and human rights abuses. Same fruit. Two headlines, two worlds, cradling the baby bump. Kate cradles her stomach. A loving maternal gesture. Meghan cradles hers. A show-off move, too dramatic, attention-seeking. Holding Harry's hand. Kate and William hold hands. Sweet, Meghan and Harry hold hands. Unroyal, inappropriate. Wearing off-the-shoulder dresses. Kate, stunning modern twist. Meghan, breaking royal rules, planning a baby shower. Kate, family celebration. Meghan, lavish gauche, celebrity theatrics. The pattern is impossible to deny when lined up like this. Let's focus specifically on the kitchen example. When Meghan volunteered at the Hub Community Kitchen, the same kitchen she helped support after the Grenfell Tower fire, she was volunteering, serving food and spending time with families affected by tragedy. Her hair was down, yes, but she also wore a hat, gloves, apron, protective gear provided on site. Yet headlines were disproportionately negative. When Kate cooked in a community kitchen with her hair down, in a setting that appears more relaxed and less industrial, tabloids framed her as comfortable, effortless, down to earth. One rule for one woman, a completely different standard for the other. This double standard continues because it is profitable. Outrage drives clicks. Clicks drive revenue. And Meghan, through no fault of her own, became one of the most profitable topics the British press has ever seen. The formula is simple. Praise Kate, criticise Meghan, repeat. The contrast between the two creates a narrative that keeps audiences reading and reacting. Even those who defend Meghan become part of the traffic numbers. The power of the Feminegra post is its simplicity. They didn't editorialize heavily. They didn't need paragraphs of explanation. They just presented the two images and the truth became undeniable. People instantly recognized the pattern. Thousands shared it. And it reignited a conversation about how women in the public eye are treated, especially women of colour. And here's the irony. The British press has always insisted they treat both women the same. This one comparison shows that they absolutely do not. Every time these comparisons surface, something important happens. People question the narrative they've been fed. Many who once believed the headlines begin to see the inconsistencies. Because when you really think about it, why would Meghan's hair be a bigger problem than Kate's, when both are doing community service in similar environments? Why would any publication frame cooking with children as dangerous only when Meghan does it? The public is catching on. Social media expands the conversation. People who once believed the press without question now challenge it. This isn't just about Meghan. It's about how society treats women, especially women in the spotlight, women who break molds, women who don't fit the pre-approved stereotype, women of colour. This issue goes far beyond the royal family. It reflects how quickly people judge, how quickly criticisms are excused, and how deeply biases can shape narratives, sometimes without people even realizing it. Despite years of criticism, from avocado scandals to nail polish colours to closing a car door by herself, Meghan continued doing the work. Collaborating with the Hub Community Kitchen, supporting women rebuilding after tragedy, helping fund a community cookbook, volunteering with her family, donating quietly and consistently. The British press could twist her hair, her gestures, or her clothing into negativity, but they couldn't erase the impact of her actions, and they still can't. It's crucial to emphasize this. Kate is not the villain. Meghan is not the villain. The media's narrative is the villain. Both women have done meaningful charity work. Both have contributed to public life. And neither deserves to be used as the contrast point for sensational headlines. This isn't about pitting the women against each other. It's about calling out the system that pits them against each other for profit. By highlighting the hair-down comparison, the article accomplishes something bigger. It exposes the hypocrisy so clearly that no one can deny it. And once you see a double standard that blatant, you start noticing the others. You begin to understand how narratives are constructed, how headlines are tailored, how one woman is framed as flawless while another is scrutinized for existing. And it becomes clear the issue is never the action. The issue is who is performing it. People aren't obsessed, angry, or overreacting as tabloids claim. People are simply tired of double standards, biased headlines, manufactured outrage, unfair scrutiny, racial undertones, media manipulation, lazy narratives that rely on contrasting two women. When you show the public the contrast, the hair, the avocado, the hand holding, they finally see what's really going on. The Feminegra post isn't about cooking. It's about pattern recognition. It's about waking up to the fact that two women can do the exact same thing, and one will be praised while the other is criticized because the media decided they serve different roles in the story they want to tell. And once people recognize this pattern, it becomes impossible to unsee. Meghan's hair isn't the problem. Kate's hair isn't the problem. The problem is how their actions are framed. And that is why these conversations matter. So there you have it. The Feminegra article may be short, but it hits at something massive and long-standing. What started as a simple side-by-side comparison turned into a discussion about media treatment, societal biases, and the long shadows of unfair double standards. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Do you think the media has treated these women differently? And what other examples of double standards have stood out to you? Thanks for watching Meghan and Harry Tales, and as always, see you in the next episode.